Hello and welcome back to take a look at my miserable painting progress. As most of you know, I got back into painting after a 20-year break about 1 year ago, and I think it's about time to show you what I've succeeded in finishing since then. Before we take a closer look at the models separately, here's what I originally thought I'd do. I thought after doing the army commander for my Orcs and Goblin force for Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition, I'd spend some time on painting our regular 1000 point army lists. In order to make playing easier, we've got Warhammer 40k 1000, 2000 and 3000 point standard lists, so that all you have to do is to bring along some minis and don't have to worry about writing army lists first. I thought I might complete, however, the Wood Elves first, because they were my first Warhammer Fantasy armies, whereas I have bought all the others mostly painted later on. And there were only several models left in order to get a 1000 point army which is painted. So I wanted to do the Wood Elves, I wanted to do Chaos, I wanted to do Orcs, Dark Eldar and Squads. But there was a kind of problem, because Alex and I thought about playing the Storm of Vengeance campaign, and therefore I had to interrupt painting the other armies. Okay, this is why I got into painting at all. As I was unable to find a suitable Games Workshop mini. This is one of the few non-Games Workshop minis I own. I got one from Forlorn Hope Games, and this is a really cool spider. I had to invest a lot of time, but I was really lucky to find out that my 30-year-old paints of Games Workshop still worked perfectly. Blood Angel, Orange, Chaos Black, Skull White and stuff like that. Blood Red used on the sword. Okay, and this is the next Warhammer Fantasy mini. I needed a spell singer in the beginning, and so I spent some time on this one. I like the model very much. I've already applied varnish to it. It said it wasn't shiny, but after having applied several layers just to be sure, it ended up a little shiny. They were a real pleasure to do. I think in about 2 evenings after working for 8 or 9 hours, going to work for another 2 hours by car, I finished them, and I like them very much because the Dryads are a cool kind of unit for every Wood Elf army, together with the Treekin or the Tree Men. And this is a mighty piece of terrain I've done. We often use it as an objective. My 1000 point Khorne force consists of only a few models, but I only did one. One of the old Bloodletters, I like them very much, the Rogue Trader ones. And there are several old Khorne Marines, those one with missing power armor as well, I think 8 of them. And this is an army I like very much. The first model, I think, the first plastic one, came out at the end of the second edition. It was a plastic one included in White Dwarf, whereas the rules, we use some rules we found on the internet, which you can also read if you take a closer look at the or join the second edition, Warhammer 40k second edition Facebook group. They were uploaded there. We've enjoyed many games with them, and I think they are a great addition to the Warhammer 40k second edition universe. The Scourgers, together with the Assault Dark Elder Warriors, were great progress. I did them within, let's say, less than a month, and there wasn't much left of the army in order to get 1,000 points together with the work in progress, which I'll show you later. I already had about more than half of it. There were only the incubi, and I think some form of transport, maybe the Raider, maybe even the Ravager, and the army commander left to do, but I had to stop work on this project because of Storm of Vengeance. And this is part of my Dark Angels army. It's a strange project because nobody asked me, or I didn't feel forced to paint it, but I had 3 of them, and they are really great, cool models. As you can't get really cool Tarantula models from Games Workshop, I bought models from, I think they're from Cromlech, and the Servitors are Raging Heroes Cyber Zombies models. And as I had 3 of them, I thought I should paint at least one of them for our Storm of Vengeance campaign, so that not only the orcs would benefit from my painting progress, but also the Dark Angels. At the top left you can see I painted 2 orc minis around 1990, maybe 6, 7, 8, 1 Goth and 1 Gretchen. You can see that the base of the color, because back then I didn't use Goblin Green for the base, I used Orc Flesh or stuff like that, but it was really a great amount of time I spent on it. I wanted it to look exactly the same like the one in the Codex. And I did, within the last year, my 30 minis I painted. If you took a closer look back then, there were only 28 models shown. This is because I've painted 2 scarabs for Alex's birthday, but even then it's only an average of 2.5 models a month, whereas I intended to paint 5 models a week. Okay, and there are 5 remaining models, and one of them wasn't even painted by me, but is a present from Alex, because Alex did some speed painting using the new contrast colors. I'm not sure if you find out which one of them it is. I tried to use different color schemes of all of the remaining ones, and it's still a long way to go, because the minimum size for Gretchen is, I think, 10 models. So together with the old one from 1990 somewhat and one Alex gave to me, I've only got 6 of them. Okay, and in this picture you will see 2 Goths, but I didn't even paint 2 of them, because the left one is the one I did back then, spending a lot of time on a single model to make it look like it had been painted by Mike McVie from the Heavy Metal painting team. Whereas the other one I did lately, or I've done lately, is just kind of cheaper paint job, not using contrast colors, but old ones, but it's just number 2 out of at least 5, I think. Yeah, the lack of models after 1 year of painting may also be because of spending a lot of time on characters. As you know, you have to field certain characters, like in case of, if you take a look at the Space Marines, you need a tech marine in order to be able to field a dreadnought. And you should have a mechanic, an orc mechanic, or painboy and stuff like that if you want to use certain orc units. And therefore I spent some time in order to get some orcs done, especially this one I can use as a big boss or even as a war boss. And my mechanic and the Blood Axe Commando Captain, but you can only use this one if you field a mob of his guys as well. It was really cool. It was a really cool paint job, but on the other hand, I think I spent about 2 weeks on each of these characters. But I haven't been that lazy, of course. Taking a closer look at the picture, you can see the work in progress. At the left side, there's one out of my 3 Ravenwing land speeders. The cool ones. Unfortunately, the sword of the small angel is broken. And yeah, for my 1000 points, I needed 12 archers for the wood elves. That's a single project. The Empire, some comlink, and a priest. I like the warrior priest, I like very much. Piece of terrain, some more old blood letters, they are really cool. Even more Dark Elder in progress. But I had to stop all of these painting projects because of our campaign. This one, it was nearly finished and then fell down and broke. So it's a pity, it's a shame. And it'll take at least another evening just to fix the broken stuff. Although it was nearly completed. A pulsar rocket in the background. I didn't know I wouldn't need it in my campaign, or that it would be too expensive. The missing goths, in order to have the minimum number of models, joined by, they also fell down these 2 with the war bike, Prop, the blunt-faced. I think that by now there are several posters of him in the rooms of female orcs. And his horn is bent. And then even a knob and one of the last models, one of the last character models, apart from the Psyker. It's not Shrek. But I won't be able to continue work on these because I have to do much more work on the orcs apart from the Storm of Vengeance campaign, just to get our regular 1000 point list done. So, and this is my pile of shame. As you can see, there are at least 30 models left in order to gain a fully painted 1000 point orc army list according to our standard list. Luckily, I seem to have done some commandos back then. Dreadnought is a shame. Some of the smaller vehicles, at least, they're missing parts, but I've got lots of bags with single arms, weapons, Gretchen, Snotlin, and stuff like that. And another 5 Goths out of 25 or 30 I've got. And at least 7 death skulls out of 20. And about 10 more Gretchen to go. And my timeline, I think I'll spend the time up to my birthday in June in order to get them painted. If I don't get them painted, I will just move on to the other armies, like the Wood Elves, the Dark Eldar, and especially Khorne and the Squads. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.